Hi, I'm Annapolis Mayor Josh Cohen with an update on snow removal on Tuesday, February 16th. In this video, I want to share with you what our timeline is this week for our activities that we're going to be focusing on, the reasons why we're doing what we're doing. I want to share with you information about refuse collection, free parking, towing restrictions, sidewalks, and bus shelters. Our timeline for this week moving ahead, the big time we're focusing on is 8 a.m. to Thursday morning, 8 a.m. Thursday morning. By that time, our goal is to have all snow emergency routes throughout the city clear curb to curb. In order to accomplish that, we need vehicles off of the snow emergency routes so that our crews and our contractors can have clear access to the snow emergency routes. So as of 8 p.m. this evening, Tuesday evening, any vehicles still parked on snow emergency routes are going to be subject to towing. We have a notice out in today's paper. We're doing an automated phone call to as many properties along snow emergency routes as we can to get the word out. The parking ban has actually been in effect since the blizzard first hit over a week ago. We enforced the towing early on. We towed about 14 vehicles. Once we made the snow emergency routes passable, we then shifted our efforts to connector routes and side streets. So some people have asked, why are we now reinforcing the parking ban on snow emergency routes? The answer is because our first effort was to make snow emergency routes passable, then connector routes, and then side streets. And now that we have hit all streets in the city and made them at least passable, we're now going back to snow emergency routes to make them clear to bare pavement, curb to curb. So that's why we have to once again enforce this parking restriction. As of 8 a.m. Thursday morning, once the snow emergency routes are cleared, we will then lift the parking ban that's been in place so that people can once again park their vehicles along all snow emergency routes. When that happens, we will also end the free parking for city residents in city garages, which has also been in place since early on in this blizzard. Also Thursday, refuse collection will resume once again. It was a very tough call to not do refuse collection starting at the beginning of this week. But given the fact that many of our streets, even though they're passable, still only have one lane, still have packed ice, we erred on the side of caution because these big heavy trash trucks, we just wanted to avoid putting them in a situation where they end up sideswiping vehicles or sliding down a hill into vehicles. So regular scheduled refuse collection, recycling, and yard waste will resume per the normal schedule this Thursday, February 18th. For some people who have Monday or Tuesday recycling pickup, you won't get your recycling pickup till next week. What we are working on is getting a recycling truck that we will station at our Public Works Services facility at 935 Spa Road, so that if there's anybody who just needs to get their recycling out of there, you can take it to Spa Road and dump it and be done with it. But our recycling crew lacks enough people to hit all of the Monday and Tuesday pickups when they go back out Thursday and Friday. Sidewalk clearing is something that is required by code, and this has been one of the most frustrating aspects for me as well as for many residents, because a number of people all through the city have been clearing their sidewalks only to have plows push the snow back up on the sidewalks. We are doing everything we can and emphasizing to our crews and contractors to do everything they can to avoid blocking sidewalks that have been cleared, to avoid blocking driveways that have been cleared. Sometimes it's simply unavoidable, and I want to thank you for your understanding, because there's just so much snow that even though we're doing as much as we can to haul it away, sometimes we just have to put it somewhere, and there's a trade-off, and our priority is always to get the streets clear and passable for emergency vehicles. Bus shelters are something that have not been tended to, as our focus has been the streets. We are now working to get all bus shelters clear, and again, I just want to thank everybody for your understanding and patience and cooperation during this historic snowfall. Thursday morning, 8 a.m. is our target to have things relatively back to normal. Just to recap, as of 8 p.m. this evening, no parking will once again be enforced on snow emergency routes. Vehicles parked on snow emergency routes will be subject to towing as of 8 p.m. this evening. That will give our city crews and contractors a 36-hour window to have all snow emergency routes cleared curb to curb by 8 a.m. Thursday morning. At 8 a.m. Thursday morning, parking will once again be allowed on snow emergency routes. Free parking in city garages will end for city residents, and refuse, recycling, and yard waste collection will resume as normally scheduled starting this Thursday, February 18th. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions or need assistance, please call the mayor's office at 410-263-7997. If you have a Public Works related question or concern, please call our Public Works Services office at 410-263-7967. And please feel free to leave a comment on my blog, which is mayorcohen.com. I've received over 250 comments since the blizzard first hit, and those comments have been very helpful in helping us identify streets that still need attention. Thank you again for your time, and thank you for your patience and cooperation.